afternoon. Welcome to your weekly current affairs program, 60 Minutes Nigeria. My name is Egosa Agbonlao. I must assure you that today's program promises to be very educative, exciting, insightful, and of course, it promises to bring you the very best of topical analysis. We are looking at the party nomination forms. It has raised dust. So many Nigerians are talking. And only yesterday, it all happened. What Nigerians clamored for, Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari ordered the resignation of fake members, Federal Executive Council members who have the ambition, who have political ambition. Most of them want to be president. Some of them got their forms by proxy. Now, what do I mean by proxy? Most Nigerians, especially the Federal Executive Council members, aspiring to be president, aspiring to hold public office in 2023, elective office, on television, a group will emerge and to the surprise of Nigerians would say, oh, we have acquired this form for so and so to contest. Now, the most disturbing was the form acquired for a former president of Nigeria, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, by Miyetti Allah. A group, Miyetti Allah, acquired or purchased or picked APC expression of interest form, nomination form, at the cost of 100 million naira. Only for Dr. Goodluck Jonathan to say it was an insult because that was done without his consent. So a lot of controversies trailing the nomination forms of political parties. But it appears that APC is really in the front burner. For you to aspire for the office of president of Nigeria on the platform of the APC, you must purchase the nomination form for 100,000 naira. 100 million. For 100 million naira, rather, please. For 100 million naira. I must repeat that for emphasis and for clarity. For any citizen of Nigeria on the platform of the APC to aspire for the office of president of Nigeria, that man must purchase the expression of interest form and nomination form and must be ready to dole out 100 million naira. Now, my guess will do justice to this because at the end of the day, over 30 billion naira have been raked in by the APC just from sales of forms for all different political offices. My guest will dissect that. So let me introduce to you my panel of analysts. Let me start with the chairman of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, Edo State, Comrade Osahan Obasuyi. Nice to have you.
Mr. Agosa, good afternoon.
Okay.
Good afternoon, viewers.
Yes. We also have with us, he's been in the studio, calmly waiting to actually dissect this issue because he's really, really touched from my discussion with him. Dr. Elvis Agbonayima, nice to have you with us today.
Thank you, sir. Viewers, God bless you.
We have an ambassador of peace in our midst. And there's one man that will always hit the nail on the head. Osasu Osam. Nice to have you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So, that's the background to our discussion. And Like I said, yesterday, Lai Mohammed, Minister of Information, said he has the authority of President Muhammadu Buhari to announce that members of Federal Executive Council who are interested in contesting for election in 2023 should resign between yesterday and Monday. And the Minister of Education for State was the first to tender his resignation. We'll talk more about that, but I have unconfirmed reports that two others have also resigned, but it's unconfirmed. So let me just read the background to you. Today, we have another information. President Muhammadu Buhari has ordered the resignation of the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, and other political appointees seeking to contest the 2023 election. That's the latest information now, because Godwin Emefiele also said he's not the one that bought the phone, that people bought the phone for him, but we heard that there was he went to court, wanted to actually get the nod of the court that is eligible as CBN governor to contest, but he didn't buy the phone. People bought the phone for him, but now the president is asking to step aside. Let's just get started with Comrade. Yes, Comrade, you are the chairman of the Youth Council Edo State. You represent the youth. Now, looking at what is happening, let's start with the cost of the phone. For APC, 100 million naira. For the PDP, for the office of the president, aspirants are to dole out the sum of 40 million naira. Now, that is the way it cascades down, you know. And we understand that the youths, the women, they were given a waiver. In APC, 60, they can pay half 60%
or so.
You know, just to encourage them. But we've not seen the youths coming out. So what's your take? What's your take? Your opening remarks?
Well, thank you so much,
yes.
Mr. Rosa Amolao. It's a sad development. It is laughable. And we are beginning to see that there is no place, you know, for the youth in this country. If a political party is pegging its nomination form, APC, for example, for the sum of 100 million, it's even difficult to pronounce. As you can see,
yes, it's very difficult. 100 million naira looks so weighty. 100 million naira looks so weighty. Yes,
it's a sad development.
Okay,
it's laughable and it is very funny. We are even talking about the PDP that says, oh, 40 million. Even when you talk about 40 million is a whole lot.
Yes.
We are talking about, you know, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, then into 40. It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. You know, just to seek a political office, you know. It's sad. It goes to show that the youth actually have no place in this country. Even though some time ago they said they have passed the not too young, you know, to rule bill. Yes, it is there, but how do you expect a youth, you know, to raise the sum of 40 million? Let's be talking about the 40 million.
No, you need to talk about the
100 million, because it is clear that they do not want, you know, the youth to grow at all. They want to continue, you know, to revolve themselves and, you know, continue to be in the office, you know. And that is a sad one for somebody to continue to be in the office knowing fully whether your child is equally growing and then the child have no place in the country. It's a sad development, and we are not happy about that. We will continue, you know, to speak against it. One will have expected that even though, yes, they said, oh, for youth and women, you know, is reduced by a certain percentage. But that is not enough. If you are actually talking about, that the youth should run, you should peg it at a certain amount that, you know, this youth can raise, you know, without too much hula baloo. You know, if you say 2 million, for example, for the office of the president for a youth, one will be able to understand, yes, if you that is seeking to run for the office of the president, you should be able to raise 2 million. Talking about 100 million or 60 million, as the case may be, in fact, we are We are shouting and we will continue to shout.
Okay, we'll allow you shout on the program, but let's get the thought of Dr. Elvis Agbolaima. What's your opening remark to this scenario, this development in the political landscape of Nigeria?
Truly, it is sad. To me, it is God that is exposing them.
Really?
That these so-called leaders are not really interested in our welfare. Imagine a country that is suffering from, the economy is suffering from depression. And now people are buying 100 million naira form as if they are buying recharge card. It's a sign to know that there is money. They are the one that have hid our money. That this nation has money. That all the complaint and the loop balloon we are hearing is a setup. Because if you see the way 100 million, sir, is not 100,000.
Yes.
For form. We are not talking of how much they are going to spend for publicity to buy form. Imagine the way the 100 million are just coming out as if. And meanwhile, ASUU is on strike. Now, except APC want to tell us, for example, as a party, that if they gather this money, they can take from me and just, because maybe they want to gather this money and just settle ASUU, because they can do that. Because look at the way the money just fly. This one is saying, somebody like someone will come out to say it's not my money. It's processor. For me, I see that, like I said, that is God that has exposed them. That these people, the same people who do not care about the student, the youth who are home, are easily bringing 100 million, telling us stories that people gather the money. From where? Look at our economy. If they can be bringing this money out, and they are telling us that there is problem here and there, it simply means that they are our problem. Now, my open remark is this. To me, is a sign that these people have been deceiving us. And again, like you said, that our president have asked those who he appointed to resign. Not just only resign, those from his cabinet that was able to pay 100 million for a form, they should be investigated quickly. Because they should tell Nigerians, we want to see the EFCC, the ICPC, at this stage, how those money came about. You get it, sir? Because you have been a minister and the ministry you are handling, we are not Nigerians, we are not enjoying anything, we are suffering, and now suddenly you were able to just come out with 100 million to get a form. Oh, look at, even a minister could not even resolve ASUU, the issue with ASUU, now also acquire the form. Who is fooling who? Our mood on do. Maybe, and again, from what I see, sir, on that area I'm also looking at, maybe to them they are gathering this money, based on the political, I'm talking about the party now, so that they can spend the money. I'm very sure what happened in Edo State, the last election will play out, because there were some big wigs in Edo State who felt that they have money, that want to bring their money out. The people will call, they can use their money this time in 2023. If they think that those billions they have gathered, I'm talking about political party now, that they will use it to deceive us again, I'm very sure there are people that will eat their money and they will vote against them. And many of them will collapse after the election when they hear the result.
Well, I hope it's not a prophecy, because
it is not.
It's a word of God. But let's get Sasu, your opening remarks, your take on this issue.
I want to thank my fellow panelists.
Okay.
At the same time, I want to say that we are living a special time and a special period in our national life.
Yes.
Centering on a political phenomenon that we are witnessing every day. Based on the issue on ground, nomination form, the money, like fellow panelists said, is too exorbitant. First of all, what is a political party? A political party is a coming together of group of persons with same interests in view to capture state power. Why having such ideology? Why having such group of people coming together at this special moment? Because every political party have their own principle, they have their own ethics, they have their own manifesto. And for you to be able to, bring to pass this understanding, you need support. You need financial support.
Yeah.
And the party, irrespective of the party, money is involved. And according to Benin adage, that means if you want to be an elephant businessman, you must have money to trade in that business. Politics all over the world is financially, is financially high capital, investment. But at this particular moment, I want to share the CNC party with the youth chairman in the state. I also believe that in all these parties there are youths who are representing a very large majority of young ones. I would also want to suggest that at that moment when they were coming up with such idea, they will have also step up to say, we are not being represented. None of these youth have such money to be able to chase this form. And of course, it will be a thought. But for the fact that the youth could not talk at that particular time, and at the same time, when you are silent, that means you have agreed, you concord. So, and at this point, I want to say that money is needed in election. Like what my brother said, is needed. Nigeria, as we are passing through a very hard time, is like a fundraising time. People coming up with money to solidarize with their party, to sympathize with their party. We don't need to blame them. If we must blame them, it's a topic for another day. But at this particular moment, there are no, all over the world, if you must contest election, you must raise funds. People continue to donate money left and right. But at this point, I want to say that Nigeria is waiting for the better moments. Our expectation is very, very high. If you must, even right now, INEC budget is very high also. Very high. If you go to the streets, even before you campaign to anybody, they will say, give me money. Everybody, we are all involved. According to the lecture delivered by Professor of Criminology, I remember he said the criminal in all of us. Whose us have you not taken? No, it's not Momori. No, it's not Momori. Okay, so yeah, in University of Benin. He said the criminal in all of us. Whose us have we not taken? So the shoemaker who is cleaning your shoe has over expressed his own interest. To the transporters. Yes. To the women in the markets who are selling tomatoes. Everybody, we are all involved. We are all involved. So the issue of politics, because we know that every political party have their own manifesto. And without political party, you cannot emerge as candidates. And for you to emerge as candidates, they must come together, rally around the person who they want to pick as their candidates. Okay. And as they are doing this, they know that money is also involved to support and to ensure that this person they want to support is able to skate through. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. Now let me get the thought of Comrade Obasi here. Now the youths. We understand that the youths are really, really interested in becoming president or becoming governor, as the case may be. Now, but before we do that, yes, we have the 27 presidential aspirants of the APC who took the nomination and interest form. You can see all their names there, 27. And like I told you, the president has asked those who are members of the Federal Executive Council to resign their appointment. That means the likes of Minister of State Petroleum, Timipri Silva, will surely be affected. The Attorney General of the Federation, Malami, will be affected. The Minister of Niger Delta a former governor, Godswill Akpabio, will be affected, and so many others. We understand that some others are already saying that there's a particular one, I don't want to mention his name. The report we got is that the president need to explain to him why he has to resign before he will resign his appointment. Now that could be an indication of frustration, allegation, and many of them never saw this coming. Yes. They never thought that the president will issue this order. Because some waited patiently, they didn't understand the body language of the president, so they thought they could remain in office and still collect this one and contest, you know. So some clergymen too have also picked the form. Tunde Bakare, a very popular clergyman, and another pastor there. But let's come back to Comrade Obasi now. The youths, what have they done to prepare themselves to actually contest elections? Knowing that, yes, we have some elderly men who are very wealthy, we have money bags. The youths may not be money bags, but what have they done? Have they been able to get the consent of some person to sponsor them, or they think that manners will fall from heaven?
Well, thank you again. Before I go on to answer, to speak to that, we want to react to Ambassador Hussein Boss, a few of his comments.
Okay.
One, talking about where were the youths, you know, when this nomination fee, you know, within the political party, when this nomination fee were pegged. Well, I want to say, how many youths do you have in the working committee of these parties? At most, you have two, maybe the youth leader and the deputy youth leader.
Yes.
So what can they say in the presence of the multitude of elders, you know, that you have in the political party? So it will be difficult for you to begin to say that why did they not challenge, you know, the hierarchy of the party as at the point, you know, when they were pegging this nomination fee. So it is very clear that the youth will not be able to challenge them. And then he has also told us now that if you want to be a politician, you must first of all be a money bag. And we want to strongly say that is not accepted, you know, by the youth of this country. It is not accepted, and we are not going to accept it. That yes, you need money, you know, to do certain things when you are running for a political office. But that is not to say that you have to look for 100 million, as the case may be, because you want to run for a political office. Now I will come to the issues that you have raised.
Okay.
The youths are very prepared. The youths are, you know, now more than ever prepared to, you know, occupy offices, you know, as in fact, as far as to the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But in this preparation, how do we raise this sum of money that they are asking for? 100 million naira, 40 million naira, a youth, you know, that have not held any political office, you know, in the past. How do you not, you have not been a minister, talk less of, oh, you must have written, you know, some good money from government.
Yes.
How do you expect the youth, you know, to get this money to buy these nomination forms? You know, it's a very sad situation. Okay. The youths are ready, if only the opportunity is there. And then again, if we want to begin to talk about sponsorship, somebody come to say, oh, I want to sponsor you as a young man or as a young woman, yes, you know, to attain a political office. By the time you get there, don't you think that the same person that sponsored you will be the one that will govern the state or the country, as the case may be?
We'll come back to you.
Because we know that he who plays the piper dictates the tune.
Okay, we'll come back to you. We'll just take a break now, and after that, my guests will expatiate, will give their opinions regarding this very, very developing story. Okay, it's a delight to have you back, and it's also a delight to know that you're spending part of your 60 minutes with us on the program, 60 Minutes Nigeria Current Affairs program, we are looking at the issue of nomination forms of some political parties, the high cost in purchasing these forms. And Nigerians are actually reacting to this development, especially with what has happened between yesterday and today from the presidency. Very highly placed political office holders have been asked to resign because they have political ambition. And we've heard from my guests, they reacted. The chairman of the Youth Council says the youths are ready, but they do not have the financial
muscle
backing to actually actualize their ambition in terms of contesting election. Because contesting election, from what Ambassador Sasso has said, is capital intensive, is very, you need a lot of funds. And Dr. Agbonahima says it is very, very wrong for Nigerians to be spending so much just to aspire. Some persons also believe that even the salary of the president, when you calculate it, it's up to 100 million within the 4 years tenure. Just salary, not we're not looking at other things, you know. But these people are willing to offer 100 million. They've not campaigned. They've not spent money on campaign. That's what Dr. Agbonahima was saying. So, Comrade Obasui, yes, we understand the youths are ready. And I hope that the opportunity will come. But Dr. Agbonahima, what's the way forward?
Truly, it pains me so much that Pastor Tunde Bakare wasted his 100 million.
No, you can't say that. You can't say he wasted.
Opinion.
You can't say he wasted. What if eventually he's nominated? What do you say?
Mark my words.
It's a waste.
It's a waste.
Are you so sure, or you saw this?
100% sure.
It's a waste.
It's a waste. So
I don't agree with you.
I say it's my personal opinion. You will remember.
Because Tunde Bakare has always said that you know, sometimes he brings spirituality into it. Probably he's been hearing voices that can be president.
I hear from God too.
Okay.
I'm telling you that he just wasted his 100 million. But it was so painful because an intelligent person of his kind should have done that. You know, you get it now. You know, assuming if he was going to buy a form from other party, he would have still be having little chances. Little chances, not becoming president of Nigeria now, maybe becoming a candidate. You know, I'm talking because I know what I'm saying, sir.
Okay.
He will still remember me. I will still come to this studio.
Okay.
That he just dashed APC his 100 million. And I know most of the political players will be laughing. You know, let me leave there.
A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a step, Dr. Agbonahima. Dr. Tunde Bakare has an ambition. He wants to be president. He must start. He can't be president. He can't be president in his bedroom,
sir,
or in his dream.
Sir,
he must start.
There's a level a man gets to. Before you move, you read the signal.
Okay.
You get it now. You know, there's a level you get to in life that there are things people will just easily do. You will not do. You will count your teeth.
Okay.
You get it now. You will look at what is happening in the political terrain, sir. Let me leave there.
Okay,
APC will not even.
Okay, go on, please, go on. Go on, yes.
Everything is not spiritual.
Yes.
By the grace of God, we are spiritual men, but everything is not spiritual.
Yes.
We are not talking about spirituality here. We are talking about, what is happening.
Yeah,
reality.
Reality, okay.
Reality, APC will not give him anything. He just died them 100 million. It's so painful to me because that money would have been used for better things. You get it, sir? Now, the way forward. Like what I will advise the youth. Becoming president, because one of the challenges I'm having with some youth, you want to become Nigeria president overnight. It doesn't work like that. Okay. There is a process. I am a product of grace, but I believe in process. You get it, sir? Now, as a youth, my advice to the youth and the way forward is we can start from somewhere. From councillorship, local government chairman. Not that when I see there's a young man, a popular activist too, who is contesting for president, to me, just playing game. He's wasting people money. Because you can't become Nigeria president. The experience has to be there. He's raising some to live for himself to live in a good hotel. I'm telling you, we know what happened behind the scene. It's not everything that is spiritual, sir. Even though I see spiritual, I don't see physical. Yes. I can see you now, sir. Yes. Now, they are just, with the kind of things that is happening. What we have to do, because these elders, all these elders we are talking about, it took them time, it took them years before they get to where they are, before they go acquire whatever that they have acquired now. Now, for the youth, the way forward for the youth is this. Let us start from somewhere. Now, he can become a local government chairman, can become a councillor. Not overnight, you just want to become a president. Who will give you the space? But by the time you begin to follow due process from stage to stage, it will get to a time the door will open. Even the people will know that this man is right.
Yeah, correct.
The people, even the elders, they will not give us the space. We will create it. And the way we are going to create it is by starting from the bottom. And we will go top. You get it now? Now, not that you just wake up, no experience, you just want to become a state governor. Even though peradventure become a state governor, you will crash the whole system. Because you don't have the experience. You get it, sir? Even as men of God, I said the other day on this channel, on this station, I said it. I said, even before God call you something, He allow you to go through a lot of process. You will say, even though you want to call to become a general in the field, you have to, before you become a general, you must first of all be, you will serve others.
You pass through the ranks.
You get it? You follow due process. Now, the youth, what we need to do is for us to be watching, to be learning fast, to be observant. We should start from somewhere. That's what also happening now, because to me, I discovered that the youth are ready now. How do I know? I discovered that if you look at a lot of campaigns, a lot of things that are happening now, you see that
more involved.
Youth are already involved now. You see some youth now coming for councillor. I remember some time ago, a man of almost 70 is fighting for councillorship. But now, the system, the terrain is changing now. You are now seeing some young youth of even 20-something years
going for House of Rep.
Like this. Many of them, we should encourage them. We should encourage them, we should encourage the youth, and I can see that the way forward, we are already working it out gradually. We will get them.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I'm going to task you down on a different, from a different perspective. Now, we actually announced the order or the directive from the president that some political appointees should resign, because Vice President Yemi Osinbajo was exempted because an elected officer. We need to clear the air on that. Most Nigerians are wondering why did Buhari not ask his vice to resign. The vice president was elected just the way President Buhari was elected. So he must serve his tenure. But I want your reaction now.
Okay, thank you very much.
Is it right for the president to ask political appointees and those in Federal Executive Council to resign?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think it has been passed by the Senate, and by the virtue of their appointments, they ought to have resigned. The president has done well. The president, I think for the first time politically, I must give it to Mr. President. If Mr. President have used this type of energy, if he has reflected like this on the issue of insecurity, I believe Nigeria would have been it would have become a better place for us. For me, this group of people, these appointees, they need to be disqualified. Like what he said, they need to face EFCC or ICPC. Because most of their ministries are not performing. Where would a minister go ahead to look for 100 million and purchase a nomination form? They need to be disqualified. But for those who are not member of his cabinet, they can be exempted, like what happened to Osinbajo. Because Mr. President must have been surprised, must have been shocked when he was contesting last time. He said he has no money. How come my own subordinates, they have 100 million to be throwing? But I see it as a fundraising. They've supported the party. But these people, they should say thank you very much. Like what they have said, you have tried, leave the road. Just go away. And ICPC, EFCC, please investigate them. At the same time, like what my brother said about Pastor Bakare. Pastor Bakare have not thrown away his money, because from any contest there must be rules and regulation. As part of the rules and regulation is the express interest form, which has attracted such amounts. So if he has taken to that, it's not wrong for him. He's only expressing his own opinion as a citizen of Nigeria, as a man who believes in the party. After all, he didn't go against it. So I believe that you might get a shocker. Politics 1 + 1 is not 2. He might emerge as the party candidate tomorrow. Nobody knows.
Not for this election.
No, nobody knows. Because at times, no matter how spiritual you are, without the physical, the spiritual is nowhere. The two must go together. Both the spiritual and physical must go together, 50-50. So the man has prepared himself spiritually, physically want to prepare himself to take the task of the nation. And I know Pastor Bakare is commanding thousands of worshippers. And I believe that the surprise might come. And at the same time, sir, the youths, how come? Because that has been my constituency, and I believe in the youths. They have the energy and zest to do anything. In view of this issue, to quest for the highest seat of Nigeria, they are qualified. They are qualified. We have good youths. We have intelligent youths. We have youth who have prepared themselves, but they don't have the financial capacity to be able to prepare themselves to that seat. That is the situation we find ourselves.
Must it be true APC or PDP?
Yes. The issue is this.
Yes.
You and I know that the man that is successful, that is the man you want to associate yourself with. You're doing the role model. A man that is not doing well, you don't want to associate yourself with him person because you cannot tap any inspiration.
Yes.
So the party in power is the party that attracts people. And if, like what he said, if you want to become president, prepare yourself. When preparation meets opportunity, I tell you, there is explosion. Our youth need to prepare themselves academically, socially, emotionally, psychologically, and otherwise to take on seats of governance, because governance is not normal. Governance.
How do you mean?
It's not normal that you just go and eat it.
What's the meaning of that?
It's managing human resources.
Okay.
You know, so it's not better to be eating.
Yeah.
Management of human and resources. Human resources management. You understand? So, what we are facing every day, we will see most of our governors, majority of them are performing. Some of them who are not performing, they were once a youth who never prepared themselves.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
So like now, we said youth. Where we have youth, like somebody like Kogi State Governor is a youth. And of course, he is also doing according to his own capacity. And he's also questing for the #1 seat. So
Thank you.
Yeah,
we'll come back to you.
Okay, all right.
Okay, a quick one. You want to quickly say something?
What I want to say is this.
Yes.
My advice is this. When you want to contest election, prepare yourself financially, socially, morally, and otherwise, because politics discovers a lot about you. You must prepare yourself. I normally say, I'm sorry that if you're a good politician, you are like a bishop. Because a politician thinks about your welfare, your education, your health. He thinks about your roads. He thinks about your well-being. So you must be your neighbor's keeper.
Thank you. Let's get the comments of Comrade Obasi on this issue. Do you think the president is right asking the political appointees, members of the Federal Executive Council, to resign their appointment because they have political ambition? Do you think he's right?
Well, they didn't even need to wait for Mr. President to direct them to resign.
Okay.
If you are an appointee and you seek a political office,
yes.
You should do the needful at the appropriate time. it's only right for you to resign, you know, before the primaries, you know, that will lead into the elections, you know, where you are contesting. It is normal. It's not, there's nothing, you know, different about what Mr. President have asked them to do. But having said that, we will also discover that within the next few days, we'll begin to see some of these persons will jettison the interest of becoming president or contesting an
you think they'll prefer to remain
yes,
ministers?
Very many of them.
They'll sacrifice the 100 million.
Very many of them.
Are you saying they'll sacrifice the 100 million? And remain as ministers?
They'll be very ready to sacrifice the 100 million because within now and May, it's still a very long time and they will be able to rake in some more money. So they wouldn't want to waste the 100, except because we are also hearing that some of these persons before, maybe during the primaries, will have to step down and then probably they will refund their money and even double it.
No, I've not heard that because
we are already hearing that.
The APC as a party made it very explicit that the idea behind the cost is for the party to raise funds, that they don't want to go cap in hand, begging in an election.
We are already hearing, sir, that some money bags, we want to get some of them to step down and then probably refund, you know, what they have paid to get these nomination forms and all that. Then, majorly, sir, I will want to speak on the CBN governor, even though he has been directed to resign.
Yes.
That is not enough. To have shown that, because right now, we only just discovered that the CBN governor has been a member of the APC. Ab initio. If he's, you know, he has accepted, even though he says that he didn't purchase the form, people purchased the form for him. So it's in the obvious and it is clear that he has been a member of the All Progressive Congress ab initio. Such person ought not to be, you know, CBN governor, because during elections, INEC keeps sensitive materials, you know, in the custody of the Central Bank of Nigeria. And now the man at the aims of affair, you know, of the CBN, that you are going to give the sensitive materials to keep, is saying he wants to run, you know, for a political office. How can we trust the process? How can we then believe in the process? So it is, we want to ask that, you know, the APC or the federal government should at this time try to exonerate themselves, you know, from what is happening now. Otherwise, it will tell well, you know, of the party in power and the federal government.
Thank you. That's a well-articulated point. Dr. Agbonaima, your own reaction to the president. Do you think the president did what was right? Some person believe that he should have even announced before now. Probably the political appointees didn't understand the body language of the president. What's your reaction?
We are going to see some drama a few days from now.
Okay.
The truth is that the law is the law. For me, the president have done right because normally, like our chairman said, if these people, some of them have integrity, they shouldn't have waited for the president to even told them to resign. But because, you know, because of who they are, you know, they believe that they can do anything and it goes, you know, that's why it comes to this level. Let me quickly say this, sir. Talking about the respected Pastor Tunde Bakare, I'm not against anything. I want to say this.
You seem to be trusted. Okay, when you are clergy man, you are very
trusted. Sir, that money was wasted because
I've given to his members.
It is not. This is not spiritual. He's qualified. He has everything it takes to be Nigeria president. But I am 100% sure because of what is on ground and what we are seeing. We can read the hands on the wall that APC will not give him anything. You know,
how are you so sure about that?
That's the APC. It is very obvious. It's very obvious that money to me was waste.
I am sure very many of them are trading.
Yes, that is it.
And again, concerning what we have been discussing,
yes,
there's one area again that the youth have to be careful.
Okay.
Most of the youth are more on social media, but we are not on ground. And the government need to do something quickly about regulation of social media because the thing is destroying us so fast. The government need to come. into that area.
Well, they regulated, they said no fake news.
I'm coming, sir.
Okay.
You know, there are too many fake news everywhere. You know, those days, like I was telling somebody the other day, you know, when, you know, I'm talking now as a clergy,
yes.
when a husband and wife have issue, they go before the altar of God and cry to God to say, God help us. Now, just little issue, they go to social media. Imagine somebody that is not in marriage. He's not advising those who is married. You get it? Now, outside that, yes. You know, the youth, the way we are so much involved in social media, bringing everything. You know, even those who created the social media, they don't bring everything there. You know, you now discover that many of us, we have millions of followers on social media. The thing in your environment, do they know you? That's why the politics of playing it from the bottom matters. You know, don't be popular on social media and on ground you are not there.
Pastor, sir, let me very quickly react to what you have said. Yes, for government to regulate social media, I think I concur to that. It is very important. But to say that the youths are not on ground, I want to differ with you on that, because a lot of sensitizations have been done. People have been, you know, we are talking to them. Sensitizations have been done by non-governmental organizations, different groups that are sensitizing the people. In fact, the 2023 elections is going to take a different tune. I am assuring you, and I'm letting you know this, because a whole lot have been done. Talking about continuous voter registration, the youth are registering. Talking about picking their PVCs, they are collecting their PVCs. Okay. In fact, the turnout is going to be unprecedented.
So the youths are ready.
Not at all. Not at all. They want to be part of the process genuinely.
Okay.
This time around.
I think that's very. That's good news. I must say that. That's good news.
I think
your closing remarks.
Yes, I want to commend Comrade Osahon Obasuyi, the Chairman of the National Council of Nigeria, for the good work he's doing in those states.
Okay.
For the sensitization, mobilization, re-education, and re-engineering. I give it to him.
Okay.
He's exceptional.
Your closing remarks.
Yes, and at this point, I want to say that Nigeria, there is hope, and we'll continue to believe that God made us a Nigerian.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we have that belief that sometimes someday we'll get it right. Yes. We are passing through trials, though it may tarry, but it will work.
Okay.
And at the same time, our youth are those who are filled with energy and zest. Okay. They are prepared to take leadership of this country.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Osasu. Thank you. Dr. Agbonayima, closing remarks, a quick one.
My closing remark is, let me say this. I want to say that I am 100% sure that 2023 general election will change the narrative in Nigeria.
Okay.
And I want to urge every one of us to get involved. If you have not gotten your PVC, go and do that. If you have not registered, go and do that. And I'm very 100% sure that everything will be better.
Thank you.
Nigeria will be great.
Okay, closing remarks, Comrade Obasuyi, quick one.
Well, I will ask our youth to stay out of trouble, get involved in the process, these 2023 general elections, and be positive. Just ensure that you are doing well for yourself and for the country.
Thank you very much. I must thank my guests for their time, for their wonderful comments, and our viewer out there, I hope you've enjoyed every bit of our discussion today on politics today. If you did, keep a date with me, God willing. Next week, we'll be looking at another issue as it affects Nigeria. Nigeria is a project that all citizens must be involved in projecting. My name is Edo Sagbonao.